Hello, my crafty friends. Thank you for joining me today. My name is Linda Edwards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator with Crafty Heron Designs. And I am here to show you how to make this adorable card. You can see it's very straightforward, pretty simple. You can use the basic layout with a lot of different stamp sets and papers to make it your own, to adapt it to whatever you have on hand. If you are joining me from my card class, thank you for purchasing the card class. You will have all the materials you need to make this card and one other. And I'm going to go through the tutorial showing you an alternate version of this card, but the card class recipients will have both. If you purchase the Winterly Treetops stamp and die set from me, you can get this tutorial for free. And the card kit. So I am using the Winterly Treetops, and as I said, this one is a thinking of you always, but my alternate that I'm going to show you today is going to be using some Christmas greetings, because this stamp set and the papers lend themselves to either one. So this is the bundle. We are not actually doing any die cutting with this bundle today, but we are using some of the stamps. It does come with a series of dies. As you can see here, some of them I already have out for another card class that I'm going to be doing shortly. But I do want to show you this paper because this paper is gorgeous. And as you will see, this is the paper that I used for this particular card. The one page comes like this, and you can just cut it and you can get 8 pieces out of this paper. So, designing the way it's designed, but there are some other beautiful papers along with it. So you can see they are kind of winterish. This is a little more Christmassy, and I die cut some of the pieces from this. Here's the little bird from there, and you can use either a scan and cut, or you can fussy cut it yourself, not die, I'm sorry, fussy cut it. And then we're gonna use this one as well, actually this one. But you can see you've got lots of options of these adorable birds. And I think because of the red berries, to me, it looks a little more Christmassy. Here's another page from that paper. Now these can be die cut with the dies. Oops, where's this one? That come with the set. It's pretty, kind of pussy willows, I think. This is the other sheet that we're gonna use today. You can see it's got lots of little birds on it and the birch trees. So kind of a winter scene here. This is the set. This one, if you have the dies, you can use the dies to cut out these birds from this paper. And then on the back side of these papers, you can see there's some fun colors. Now, any of you that know me know I am an avid bird watcher. So this paper caught my eye immediately. It's in the new fall mini catalog. And let's see, I'm missing one page here. Here we go. I love birds. So this was right up my alley. I always get anything that has to do with birds. But even if you're not a big bird lover, these papers are beautiful. As are all the Stampin' Up! Papers. I must admit that I am a sucker for the Stampin' Up! Papers. So I'm gonna leave this one here, and I'm gonna bring in the kit for the next card that I'm gonna do as an alternate. So if you've got the kit, it will come in an envelope, and then you will have your card base, which is thick, basic white, and it is just a standard card base, but it's 11 inches by 4 1/4. I just thought I'd do something different. And I always first thing I like to do is go ahead and fold and burnish, so I get a nice flat card. So that's the card base. Then this is gray granite, and it is going to cover that card base. So it is 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. So you get 4 out of a standard sheet of cardstock. Then we're going to use the garden green. This piece will be, let's see, it's 4 3/8 by 3 1/8. And it is going to layer with this piece from the Designer Series paper, and this is 4 1/4 by 3. And I chose that size because I could get the maximum amount of pieces out of my Designer Series paper. So because the Designer Series paper is 12 by 12, I can get 8 of 8 pieces of this out of that paper. So I thought it was just very economical. Then my sentiment's going to be a little different on the the sizes are different because the sentiment is different. So the size for this piece is 2 1/4 by 1 1/4. And this is just regular basic white. And then this one is 2 1/4 by 3/4. I actually think it's a little bit bigger than 3/4. Let me just double check that. It's at least 3/4, maybe a smidge, maybe 7/8. It's actually 7/8 to fit that Thinking of You Always. And then this, in the one with the Thinking of You Always, the copper clay piece here is, why do I not have that there? Let's measure it. It's 3/4 by 2 3/4 by 3/4. Yeah, 2 3/4 by 3/4. So this one, because the base is a little bit different, I made it a little bit bigger. And this one is 3/4 by 3 1/8. So let's go ahead and get started. And and this is the little piece that I actually was able to use my scan and cut to cut that out. But you can use you can fussy cut it as well. It's pretty easy. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in my embossing machine. I don't know if you can tell, but this is embossed. It's embossed with a new folder that comes in this suite. It's the Birch Wood embossing folder. So it's a 3D embossing folder. So I'm going to bring in my Big Shot. Oh, we don't call it a Big Shot anymore, do we? It's the cut and emboss machine. See, I've been around for a little while. So the sandwich for the cut and emboss machine for the 3D embossing folders, and I write 3D on them so that I know, and so that my students in class also know. This, I'm going to try and make it straight just because it is a wood grain. And that typically is the way a tree runs. But, you know, some trees, the grain runs horizontal. So, well, cherry trees, they do. But other trees, they run vertical. So, the sandwich is the base plate, the number 1. And then you put your embossing folder in. And you always put the embossing folder in with the folded side going in first. And then the plate number 4. So, there you go, plate number 4. So I'm going to run this through. Now, if you've purchased the card kit, I will have already embossed this piece for you, so you don't have to worry about this step. Yours will already be embossed. But for those of you maybe new to card making, I wanted to show you how to do the embossing yourself, because this really elevates a card, the embossing does. All right, and so now we will have a, let's do the stamping. So I am going to bring in Memento ink, and for this card, I'm using a stamp. I'm going to use Sending Greetings. This is from another new stamp set that we have. It's called Greetings of the Season. It does come with dies, but I'm not using a die for this particular card. But it does, you can see that it has, these are just some of the dies that come with it because I have several that are already being used. But I could have used one of these dies because it will fit, I guess, the oval. But I didn't want to do that. So these are wonderful. These can also be tags. You can see that it's got a little tag on it. And one of the other cards that I'm making in this class utilizes one of the tags and some more of the dies. So because this is a photopolymer stamp set, I need to use a Stampin' Pierce mat. But you could use a mouse pad. You could use a piece of cardboard or cards that maybe has some thickness to it, like corrugated cardstock would work. Let me pull this over. You just need something with a little bit of cushion to get a really good image. So let's see here. So I want this to kind of be centered, and because it's photopolymer, it's pretty easy to see. Here we go. So, you know, I'm really not happy with that image. I don't know if you can see, it's kind of blotchy, so I'm gonna try it again. Let me turn that over. I'm gonna clean my stamp and see if I can get a better image. Bring that in again. And this is just the black, Memento black. It looks good. Let's see here. Oh yeah, that's better. I'm not sure why it didn't work the first time, but that's okay. That's the beauty of having two sides to a sheet of paper. So there's my greeting, and I could put a sentiment on the inside. Let's see. Let's do this one. This is also from that Greetings of the Season. May your holiday season be filled with warmth and cheerful celebration. So let's go ahead and do that. Of course, you could leave it blank and put in your own greeting. Or you can go ahead and put in a greeting that you got from maybe another stamp set. If you've got a lot to say, I think you want to leave yourself lots of room, but you know, when you've got a lot of cards that you're making, it's kind of nice to have your sentiment say what you want to say and not have to handwrite it. So we'll do that one there. Okay. So that's the inside. And the reason I stamped it before I put it together was because if I kind of messed up, I could cover it up and try it over. Because, you know, messing up happens to all of us. Okay, so the rest of this is really straightforward. I'm just going to assemble the card. So the first layer is the gray granite, just filling up the whole layer. I like having some weight to the paper, which is why I like to do multiple layers. Next, I'm going to just attach my piece here. Now you could use either side. Both sides of this paper are really pretty. Because most Christmas cards, well, maybe not most, but in my world, most Christmas cards are mailed, I'm gonna go ahead and keep the layers to a minimum. As far as I'm not popping up a lot of layers, I'm keeping it somewhat flat so that I can easily send it through the mail. Okay, so now for my greeting, I'm going to layer these two pieces together first and just kind of centering it as best I can. If you have grid paper, that works really well to get everything centered, but I don't sweat the small stuff too much and worry about if it's exact. What I am gonna do here is, because I'm gonna bring in some of this twine, this is a twine that is also in this kit, or in this suite, and this is Garden Green. The one that I used here is the Copper Clay, and it also comes with a Night of Navy twine. So I'm gonna go ahead, I would say you could use glue dots, or if you've got some kind of a tape runner, go ahead and put it on the back just to help this attach a little bit easier. And then what I like to do is just run it around my hand. I just did it twice, and I'm gonna leave the ends kind of open. This one I ran it around a third time. You just do, you know, whatever you wanna do. And I'm gonna just take it off like this. I am having a hard time with this, aren't I? It's always harder to do it on camera. And then bring in my scissors to cut the end. And then I'm kind of just trying to keep it centered and kind of look what I've got there. And because I've got that tape on the back, it just makes it so much easier to stick, and I can kind of play around a little bit and adjust it if I need to. Now this piece is going to be popped up on dimensionals. So I'm gonna go ahead now and bring in my dimensionals. I'll go right over that twine and that. And then before I stick it down, I'm gonna kind of hover it and just make sure, yeah, that's gonna fit. You can kind of adjust where you put it based on where the other little birds are in your paper. So I am gonna go ahead and let it cover that guy, but I wanna be able to see this little guy down here with the red. I would say he's probably a house finch. That's what it looks like to me. And then this one, now you can kind of adjust where he's gonna go. You wanna just make sure it's not sticking out from the side of your paper, or if it is, then you just trim it down. So I know I can attach him here, but I'm gonna have, he's gonna need a couple of dimensionals. So I'll put one there. I think I'm gonna take a mini dimensional and put it, my mini dimensionals. Here we go. And put it under the berries here. Now, before I take the backing off, I just wanna check and see. And then I can just put adhesive on this part, just the liquid adhesive, so that it will stay attached and it won't come off when it's being pulled in and out of an envelope. So there we go. One more thing I'm gonna show you is how to decorate the envelope. I just wanna make sure that that is over. Good. Isn't that cute? So, Christmassy and just a thinking of you. You could certainly, they could both be thinking of you cards. But here, I'll show you what I'm gonna do with the envelope. So the Winterly Treetops stamp set has this pretty wreath in it. And I'm gonna put that on the envelope. And then I'll show you what I did for this one to put on that envelope. So this is a cling stamp set. So it does not need the padding underneath it. It's already got, see, it's got the little foam. Can you see that? The little foam. Gosh, you can't hardly see that, can you? So it's got its own padding. So I'm doing this right on the flap, and as you can see, I opened the flap only because I was afraid that I might get a little bit of a line from this layer here. So there, that's the envelope for that. I thought that was really cute. And then what I did for this one is I used one of the other stamps and stamped the bird image on the envelope. And this is with the copper clay, which is the color that's the background color here of all of these accents. So there's the two cards. Do you like one or the other? Please let me know in the comments if you like what you saw. If you give me a thumbs up and comment, it helps other people find me, find my channel. If you would like to see more of my videos, then please subscribe or follow me, whether you're seeing this on Facebook or on YouTube. And once again, thank you for joining me today. I'm Linda Edwards, Crafty Here in Designs. And if you do not have your own Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I would love to help you make purchases. If you do purchase this Winterly Treetops stamp set and with the dies, I will send you the card kit for free. Bye for now.